Okay, welcome everybody to our August regular school board meeting, which is exciting because it's the first time that at least one of us on the board has been in person, in an in-person meeting, which is pretty cool. So with that, roll call please, Patty.
Mr. Wilkerson, President.
Here.
Mrs. DiCaprio, Vice President.
Here.
Mr. Atway.
Here.
Mr. Campbell.
Here.
Mrs. Klucher. Here.
Okay, we're going to say the pledge. The flag is over here. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so our first order of business is our minutes. We get these things ahead of time electronically, and we all review them. And of course, after we approve them, they'll be posted on the website. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes, please? And this will be for the regular 7:15 meeting and the special 8:05 meeting.
I'm Nader Atway will make a motion to accept the minutes for July 15th and August 5th, 2020 as presented.
Jenny Klucher will second.
Any discussion of those minutes? Roll call, please.
Mr. Atway.
Yes.
Mr. Campbell.
Yes.
Mrs. DiCaprio.
Yes.
Mrs. Klucher.
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson.
Yes. Okay, now we're going to go through the financials. Patty, go through those with us.
The first cash summary report, not a whole lot of activity in July as we are basically ordering and not paying for items. So I really don't have any comments on the cash summary report. Check payment register. Does anybody have any questions on any items? There's only really a little more than a page of checks. Mostly the standard monthly payroll and benefits checks. And now July's the big month for ordering, so you have 30-some pages of outstanding purchase orders. Just want to make a few comments on this report. The first 7 pages, well, the first page has the leftover carryover purchase orders from last year that are still outstanding. And then pages, bottom of 1 through 7 are what we call our yearly purchase orders, which you'll see those all year. They're set up for the entire year. Most of them are utilities or recurring monthly expenses. And then the rest, after page 7, are just normal one-time purchase orders for one-time items. And on the second to the last page, page 32, I'd like to point out at the bottom, there's several orders that have the fourth code in as 0019. Those are the special teacher stipends that were given to, $500 stipend was given to each teacher to buy PPE or professional development items relating to COVID start back. And so we're coding those all that special 0019. You're going to be seeing those, a lot of those in August. Next month, we'll see a lot of those. And then nothing new on the investment report. Same CDs from last month. And again, they're starting to come off at the higher rates. And if you reinvest, then it's going to be at a much lower rate at the moment. So, any questions on any of the reports?
I don't have any. Does anybody?
Nope.
Else?
I
Great.
need a motion to approve them, please.
We have a motion to approve.
Jenny Klucher will make a motion to approve the financial reports as presented.
DiCaprio will second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. DiCaprio?
Yes.
Mrs. Klucher?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes. Did we grab the the sign-in? I should just say, did anybody sign up to speak?
Yeah, there's only 3 people.
There's only 3, so.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Shields.
We're good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll keep moving.
Okay.
Mr. Knoll?
Person personnel, okay. I'd like to recommend the hiring of Becca Bach and Andrea Lamarca for our high school family consumer science and elementary art. Also for our licensed daily subs for the upcoming school year, those individuals as presented. Dylan O'Hare is going to take over as an intervention specialist tutor at the middle school. We have 3 resignations, those individuals as presented. We have a couple transfers and reassignments with our custodial staff that are there, just for your information. I'd like to also recommend the hiring of our extracurricular positions, those found in Exhibit 4. And a lot of hiring for the paraprofessionals to be reimbursed by the boosters. You can see all of those individuals as presented. And I'll do one more under parental leave, Ms. Alyssa Carbon for her parental leave from September 18th to November 30th under Exhibit 5,
Okay, we're going to take those as a block.
if you don't mind.
Based on the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to approve items 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, 1E, 1F, and 1G, and 2A?
The capital moves to approve the following hires and leaves. 1A through G and 2A.
Campbell seconds.
Any discussion of any of those? Roll call, please.
Mr. Atwood?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua?
Yes?
Mrs. Cloutier?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Okay, so number 3, I'd like to make the recommendation to approve the agreement between the Canfield Local School District and the Boardman Local School District for occupants of the home on lot number 41 in the Westford Place, plat number 3, to attend Canfield schools under Exhibit 6.
Based on the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to approve the agreement between Canfield Schools and Boardman Schools for the benefit of lot number 41 in Westford Place?
The capital makes a motion to approve the agreement between Canfield Local School District and Boardman Local School District for Lot 41 in Westford to attend Canfield schools.
That way we'll second.
Any discussion of that?
I just do have a clarifying question. Was this just, I guess, a new home or a new family that's trying to attend? Or I guess driving through that development on different occasions? I'm just trying to-
I can answer that, Nader. This was a lot in Westford Development that was literally split in half between Boardman schools and Canfield schools, roughly half, 60-40. And the lot owner, the house was not yet built. They wanted to build, but wanted to keep their child still within Canfield. They were moving from Canfield into the new house in Canfield and wanted to keep their child in Canfield district. But the lot was literally split, Boardman and Canfield.
Okay, I read that and just didn't realize you could have a lot that's split like that.
That is an interesting scenario,
Yeah.
to say the least. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Trace.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Atwood?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua?
Yes.
Mrs. Cloutier?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Okay, so I'd like to make a recommendation to adopt resolution number 5-2021, authorizing the filing of bankruptcy proof of claim found in Exhibit 7.
Based on the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to approve resolution number 5, 2021, authorizing the filing of bankruptcy proof of claim as shown in Exhibit 7?
Campbell makes a motion to adopt resolution number 5, 2021, authorizing the filing of bankruptcy proof of claim in Exhibit number 7.
A second.
That way we'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion of that one? Roll call, please.
Mr. Atlee?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCastro?
Yes.
Mrs. Clucher?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
And make the recommendation to approve request for a senior moving out of the district to complete her senior year at Canfield High School, found in Exhibit number 8.
Based on the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to approve the request of a senior moving out of the district to finish her years at Canfield High School? It's just her senior year. Mhm.
Jenny Kluchar makes a motion to approve request for senior moving out of district.
Campbell seconds.
Any discussion of that one? Roll call?
Mr. Atlee?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCastro?
Yes.
Mrs. Clucher?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
And I'd like to make a recommendation to approve the Mahoning Valley Regional Council of Government Service Agreement from July 1st of 2020 to June 30th of 21, found in Exhibit number 9.
Based on the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to approve the Mahoning Valley Regional Council of Governments Service Agreement?
Mayor Atlee will make the motion to approve the Mahoning Valley Regional Council of Government Services Agreement as presented in Exhibit 9.
Jenny Kluchar will second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Atlee?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCastro?
Yes.
Mrs. Clucher?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
I'd like to do number 7, 8, 9 as a consent item, if that's okay. I'd like to approve temporary increase for substitute teacher pay to $100 a day, increase our sub-custodial pay to $12 an hour, and approve an increase in hours for our health aides to 7 hours per day.
Based on the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to increase the substitute teacher pay, substitute custodian pay, and approve an increase in hours for health aides?
Campbell makes a motion to approve the temporary increase for substitute teacher pay, substitute custodian pay, and also an increase in hours for all health aides to 7 hours per day.
DeCastro seconds.
Any discussion of that motion?
So we're going to up the sub pay so we can get some subs here, number 1. Number 2, we're going to increase the substitute custodial pay because we talked about adding 4 additional 3-hour custodians to help us with some nice cleaning at the end of the school day. And the last one are nurses. We need them longer in the building because they need to be there in the morning when our folks come through and get the temperature done. And we're going to need them at the end of the day as well for some of the other medical issues that we have. So we're hoping all 3 of those items will help us not only start the year, but keep the year moving.
And it's also very hard to find quality substitutes nowadays.
Without a doubt.
And
So-
these will be the ones that you said will be in the same building all the time?
No.
Oh, okay, that's the other ones
Those are the
further
ones
down,
that we
okay.
did earlier in, I think back on the first page maybe.
Yes, with the regular
Yeah,
hires.
those
Okay,
are the
sorry.
ones that will be in the building full-time as subs for us.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Atlee?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCastro?
Yes.
Mrs. Clucher?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
So I'd like to make a recommendation to approve the Canfield School Remote Learning Plan, which was found in Exhibit number 10.
Based on the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to approve the Canfield School Remote Learning Plan, Exhibit 10?
Mayor Atlee, I will make the motion to approve the Canfield School Remote Learning Plan as presented in Exhibit 10.
Campbell seconds.
Any discussion of that? Roll call, please.
Mr. Atlee?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCastro?
Yes.
Mrs. Clucher?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
I'd like to make the recommendation to approve the Cardinal Digital Academy 2021 Handbook under Exhibit number 11.
Based on the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to approve our new Canfield Digital Academy 2021 handbook?
Jenny Kluchar would like to make a motion to approve the Digital Academy Handbook as presented.
DeCapua seconds.
Any discussion of that?
I need to speak about this, okay? I can't tell you how thankful I am for the board's support of this initiative. In a hurry, I know I come in like a whirlwind here on this one, but you are now servicing 400 kids in Canfield by allowing this to happen, which to me is amazing. And I've always said, our job's to offer opportunities for our learners, and by allowing us to do that, you opened up that door. Mr. Maroney has been a busy man, all right? And he's going to continue to be busy. But we assign teachers earlier in the week. We're putting all that together. We have some meetings planned for those individuals. Really excited about it. And I want to say this, no matter what silo you're in, you are still a Cardinal. And every Cardinal counts. So whatever you pick, we love you, we appreciate you. We're going to do everything in our power to help your education be successful as we get started. So, but thank you to the board for that.
Thank you. Thanks for driving that forward.
Thanks for
Yeah,
your-
thanks, Joe. Thanks, Ms. Maroney.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua?
Yes.
Mrs. Klucher?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
And I can make a recommendation to approve our 2021 Restart Plan, which was found in Exhibit number 12.
Based on the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to approve the 2020-2021 restart plan?
DeCapua motions to approve the 2020-2021 restart plan.
That one will second.
Any discussion?
Well, this plan puts our digital academy as one silo, and it brings us back day one, all in person, 5 days a week. That's how we're going to start the year.
Nice job. It's very, very thorough.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua?
Yes.
Mrs. Klucher?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
And number 13, recommend a motion to approve the First Amendment to the agreement by and between the Canfield Township Board of Trustees, the City of Canfield, and the Canfield Board of Education found in Exhibit number 13.
Based on the recommendation of the superintendent, can I have a motion to approve the amendment shown in exhibit number 13? Everybody's too far away for me to kick them, like I would normally do.
There's no kicking.
All right. Campbell makes the motion to approve the First Amendment to the agreement by and between the Canfield Township Board of Trustees, the City of Canfield, and the Canfield Board of Education, as shown in Exhibit number 13.
That one will second.
Any discussion? You want to give the cliff notes? You want me to?
Well, either you or Patty. I asked Patty to kind of.
This more clearly defines the township's financial role, and it really didn't change our obligation or our payment financial status with regard to the original agreement back in 2018, and it extends till 2023, which was the original agreement. So I think the township asked for this just to more
Yep.
clearly define their role.
Yep.
And this is for the services of our SRO, correct? Okay, just make sure everybody understands it. That's for our 2 SROs we have in the district, okay? Had a good meeting with the with Assistant Chief Weimer already, Mr. Tulio and I. And we met with both SROs a couple days ago, guys, right? We came out to elementary buildings as well. So we're off to a good start.
The same two? It's
Yes.
Garska and...
Yep. And we needed their insights on some traffic control.
Oh, yeah.
So we
Drop
think,
off and pick up, yeah.
we
'cause
think we're ready. We think we're
do
ready
we-
for it.
Do we have a number of like how many parents are gonna transport? Because I know my child always rode a bus, but we'll be driving him.
We don't have a specific number, other than survey data that said about 50%.
Yeah,
Now,
which we're assuming is an increase in.
well, the thing that offsets that, though, are the 400 digital kids.
Yeah.
With 210-ish of them being elementary.
Okay.
So when you think of this through, not only is it a win-win academically and educationally, it could help us on our buses, and it could help us on the drop-off issue as well.
Yeah.
But obviously, we're not going to know till
Right.
game day. But
Okay.
that's a real nice picture going into it.
Mhm.
So,
Okay, any further discussion on that? Roll call, please.
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. Capua?
Yes.
Mrs. Cloutier?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes. Mr. Knoll, it's on you.
Yeah, I just had a couple things, and, be willing to chat about anything else on your mind, but I had sent you some information about air cooling, okay? Air cooling for 2 of our buildings that are having trouble. Now, this isn't a true air conditioning. This would be just a temporary air cooling. I mean, it's not gonna get it down to 70-some degrees, but from what I've heard from individuals, this is a viable option going into the school year. I gave you some numbers for the elementary school and the middle school, and basically it was by a month. So, it was close to a $90,000 price tag for 1 month of air cooling at the elementary and middle school. So I didn't know what your thoughts were moving forward with that. But if we're going to do it and empower me to look into it, I really need to know soon, one way or the other.
I guess I would love to know your stance on this versus the potential to put in a permanent fix. I guess we'd call it a Band-Aid because we know our buildings are also in need of support, but.
Right. The conversation we need to have about a big-time fix is a long, hard conversation. And I don't mean hard in a bad way, but there's a lot of work, time, and effort that we're gonna have to put into that conversation. And obviously, I would love to go down that road and talk about our facility, air conditioning being one piece of the puzzle. But you're right, you've got other issues about aging buildings and those kinds of things as well. This is only a temporary fix for whatever hot season we're gonna have to start out the school year. The other piece I do like about it is the CDC and the professors talk about air circulation being a good thing. This is obviously another way to attack that. By having this apparatus in the building, it would definitely be moving some air as well. So that's really what's on the table here to kind of start the
And this
school
is,
year.
this is a per month cost. So it
Correct.
would be obviously in September, then we'd determine if we need it in October.
Correct. Yeah.
Then next
Because
spring.
Kind of my thought is, if we get through September, in school, I'm a happy man, number one.
Well, that's the
If I
thing.
can get through September in school and have some cooler air, I might be a real happy man now, you know?
But if all this is installed and then we have to be shut down on emergency remote instruction, we're still paying for this though, aren't we?
Well, here's the thing, if you guys give me the okay to move forward, that's my first question to this gentleman. What happens if we only make it 2 weeks? Are we just gonna pay for 2 weeks? And I think what he's gonna say is there are dollars that no matter what happens, it costs to get everything here, the equipment, and to get it set up. But there's dollars that come into play, like for the diesel fuel. And once we're shut down, those costs, we wouldn't occur anymore. So I don't want to speak in certainty on that, but I have a feeling he's going to say, if you only use it for 2 weeks, that's fine, they'll come and take it, but you're going to pay all the dollars to get it here.
Yeah.
And the setup
Yeah.
and all that.
But that's kind of my next question.
Yeah.
So you're saying if we did shut down, they would come and take it out? It would like just sit there in case we reopen?
Well, that would be
again?
up to us, but if
Okay.
it's here, we're paying for it.
Okay.
Okay, now, we wouldn't be paying for diesel if we weren't using it. But the rental piece of it, that's the part that I don't know yet, unless you guys, and like I said, if you empower me to go at this and come up with a plan, that's question number one, right out of the gate. And then number two is, can he get it done in time?
And
That's
this is,
the other one.
this is building wide. This would be for, yeah,
Two
the
buildings,
entire
CH
building.
and
Yeah.
middle school.
Okay.
Yeah, for, Camel and middle school.
My bigger issue is from an economic standpoint. If it could potentially, if it's $90,000 a month, we could potentially put a temporary Band-Aid that can last us 3 to 4 years for $500,000 to get permanent air conditioning. I'd be more apt to say let's.
None of that's gonna get in though. I mean, you're December at least. if we said today, right now, that we were gonna move forward with that, you're at least December.
Well, I might even say longer than that,
Yeah.
because
Well,
you gotta
and
engineer it.
When we
you
did
gotta
the tour,
put
there
the
was
pro-
leaking
Yeah,
and.
you gotta put the project together, and then you gotta bid this thing too.
Yeah.
And that's really.
60 days for the
Yeah,
bidding.
it's,
Now, if we do the temper, is that still a bidding situation?
well, that's something we got to talk to the treasurer about, okay? Because I have a feeling our board policy probably says something like we need to have multiple bids possibly, but is there an exception that the board
I
could
think
say,
there's
hey,
a-
due to an
There's
emergency,
an emergency.
we need to move forward?
I'd probably have to double check that.
Yeah.
Is it an emergency? I don't know.
I think it's an emergency if we deem it an emergency.
I'd agree with that too.
I think that's in that
I
policy.
mean, COVID itself is
Yeah,
an
yeah,
emergency. Would
that's a
we
good
be
point.
talking
The
about it
pandemic
if it wasn't
itself
for
is-
COVID?
Yeah, yeah. But your points are valid. I 100% agree. I mean, to me, this is just, it's pandemic, it's COVID, it's Mr. Knoll saying we're wearing face masks.
Yeah.
And if it's a day like today, I'll be the best superintendent in town. If it's 90,
Yeah.
I probably won't be.
Right.
But, I mean, it is what it is. I understand that too. I'm being a little facetious there,
Yeah.
but,
Well, with the hybrid option, you know, would it be something you would consider for just the two buildings if we were ghastly hot, but not the whole district?
that would be very difficult. I
Okay.
mean, part of the hybrid model idea is the cohort, the family cohort piece,
Yeah.
and without that, without the high school, that would be tough. Yeah, that would be tough.
What about a heat schedule? I know, I'm drawing at everything. When I was pregnant,
Okay.
I worked in a non-air conditioned school, this is out in Kansas City,
Mhm.
and they sent us home after lunch on days that were over 90 degrees.
Hmm.
I don't know, does Ohio have something like that?
Not that I'm aware of, no, no.
So I go back to you and say, what would your recommendation be, or what's your passion towards this?
I think, based on our buildings, what I've seen and heard from our community, the COVID and face masks, this to me is the summer to do this. Now, this point on, probably not, but I mean, just by what we have right now, if this was the time to do it, I would say it would be this summer.
I mean, I appreciate that. I think my biggest concern would be, okay, I would support it if that's something you felt that the administration and you were passionate about, and then I'd like to see us look at a potential long-term solution from a heating and air, or
Amen.
an air conditioning
Yep.
perspective. And, you know, clearly if it's not just a quick fix or a long-term fix on a long-term problem, do we look at the next steps at how do we improve our buildings down the road too? So, I mean.
We've got on the agenda here shortly to set up our work session to get you guys in the loop on the many discussions that this side of the room has had over the past, well, 4 years, 4.5 years, for Tracy, 2 years. I mean, it's,
What's gonna come to a bond
there's a
issue,
lot.
right?
Yeah, well, at least, yeah.
I think from a spending this year, we've had to make exceptions and do a lot of extra spending that we didn't anticipate. And I think if you're thinking this is one that you would support, I would support it as well, knowing that probably this is the 1 year we have to do something.
And I think the key is, if this guy says, hey, you're only gonna pay for the time you're using it, like, if we have to lock it in for a month, guaranteed, I wanna come back to you and have a little more conversation on that, because now you're kinda rolling the dice. You're rolling the dice on the weather, number one, and number two, what if we only make it for a week?
Yeah, with the prorate.
That to me is a little harder,
Yeah.
but if, like I said, if you guys empower me to have that conversation, I'll give them a call on my way home, see if I can get them, and if not tomorrow, and see what this is gonna look like.
Yeah, I mean, if you can negotiate that and have some sort of clause in place that could help support that.
Right.
May I trust your judgment, Joe, and, you know, the research and I'm sure the conversations you've had with your administration and teachers and and parent concerns and staff. I mean, it's definitely a unique time
Yeah.
right now, and that is a huge chunk of money. But,
It is.
but, you know, if it's gonna serve, you know, what's best for our students and staff, then we gotta do it. But I agree 100% with Nader that, you know, the issue of aging buildings and roofs, and that has to be a priority that we address ASAP.
Another thing that Hutch talked to me about is we have got to find a way to get the fire alarm system connected to that device to deactivate it if the fire alarm goes off. Now, I don't know the answer to that with our systems, but if, and I think it's radio sound, I heard one of our custodians talk about, if radio sound comes in there and says, Joe, we can't do that, then we're not getting it. So I'm not gonna roll that dice that would happen, so. And I don't think our fire chief's gonna allow him to do it anyway. So that's another, hurdle, for lack of a better word, that I'm gonna have to get, approved before we can move forward as well.
Okay. What about the doors? Because that attaches to the doors.
Yeah, all that fire chief said, as long as you can still egress and get out, we're okay.
Okay.
But I did ask for a schematic, because they basically have generators and they just kind of push the air in through big pipes, but it comes through either a window, like above a door, kind of a scenario. So the fire chief's gonna have to approve all of that as well. So there's a lot of work to do, to be honest with you, to make this happen. So I can't really make any guarantees one way or the other, but Mr. Tula and I will give it our best shot if you guys are okay with us moving forward.
Yeah, just looking at the date, we've got it close.
I know.
So,
I know.
I'm in sales, maybe you can ask for a buy one, get one free for a month.
You know what, I'll write that down, kinda like Kmart,
Yeah,
Blue Light
maybe
Special.
you can give us
Buy one,
2 months for the
get
price
one
of
free.
So you can just have it as an
Okay.
option.
Well, it sounds like we're all on the same page as far as what you're asking, Mr. Knoll. So from my perspective, if the board's on board, I'd say go ahead and do what you need to do as far as.
I think we would need a motion to approve an emergency expenditure pending a policy, pending the policy supports it. Something like that.
Policy
Patty, do you
review.
think?
Policy review.
Yeah. Yeah. And then that also assumes that it may be that we'd have to potentially come back to a meeting, or,
Yeah, have a special meeting.
or it may not work without a bid. I mean, there are a number of hitches, but I think we would need a motion to approve an emergency expenditure.
Can we make a motion to empower them to research, or?
Well, we're gonna have to come back.
We might be coming back anyhow for, after an executive session. We talk about some items. Why don't you give me a minute to try to look?
Okay. Yeah, because we worked on that policy, and yeah. Okay. All right, so we'll wait on that
Okay.
until after the.
Well, I appreciate that. I do. We got a lot of homework to do yet, and it was probably gonna start with the treasurer. We're gonna have to make sure we're good there, so. The one other thing I was gonna talk about tonight was athletics, just real quick. You heard the governor come out and say fall sports are up and running. There's supposed to be an order coming out from the governor's office. I did not see it prior to coming in here, so I don't know if it came out yet, but basically, the sports are on with a totally modified spectator. It's gonna be, like moms and dads, and that's really about it. You know, we have 3,000 capacity in our stadium. The AD and I are going to take a look at a percent. It might get mandated by the governor, or we might be able to pick a percent, like 20% occupancy. Our players, band, and cheerleaders don't count in that, but it's just gonna be home fans and away fans. Now, you take that philosophy to the volleyball, and that's another tough one, because you got smaller confines to start. We'll pull out both bleachers, but trying to get moms and dads in there and 6 feet and masks, it's gonna be hard. So we're gonna be working on that. Our league has come down with some recommendations as well for football and other sports. It's gonna be like 4 tickets for seniors, 2 tickets, senior parents, 2 tickets for everybody else, underclassmen. You know, we're gonna try to do that, like I said, for football and volleyball as best we can. You know, soccer's probably gonna be another one we're gonna take a look at as well. So there's supposed to be more guidance coming. The good news is sports are on. The hope is we can maintain, keep kids healthy, and be able to play. You know, right now football is the 6th season right now, and then kind of go from there. But that was good news for those of us, you know, that are in the athletic world. Our band will not travel to away games, okay? Throughout the league, that will not happen. Our cheerleaders may. I have yet to talk to our cheerleaders about that, but you know, you can keep 6 feet as a cheerleader and be able to participate. So I would hope they would make the trip as well. But we're going to be busy figuring out how to basically pull that off in our venues. So some good news.
How about for travel to away games? Are we still using our buses to get the kids there, or what are we gonna?
Like if we're taking a football team away, we're going to be using our buses. And we're probably going to have to use more than we have in the past.
Yeah.
So it's going to, you know, that's going to be tough, but I don't want to put 50 kids on a bus either. So we're going to have to probably double them, to be honest with you. If we take 3 or we're going to take 6. So that's the hard
We have a
part.
policy about that, about you can't use parents and kid
Yeah.
transportation, so there is a.
Yeah, there's
there is a-
always
we
like
wanna stay away from that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But some good news. That's all I have.
Okay.
The treasurer.
You have it.
You can go the bidding for contracts in any of the following situations. The board finds and determines that an urgent necessity exists as defined by statute with respect to a particular improvement.
Okay.
I'd see that as pretty good for a definition.
As defined by statute, I'm not sure what that is
Yeah.
yet.
Well, I suggest what we do is approve it, or we make the motion and vote on it, and then we run it past our attorney and make sure that we're
Yeah, good idea.
copacetic. So if you want to make the motion, you want me to make the motion, or you want to make the motion? I'll make a motion to approve the emergency, to make a motion to approve the emergency cooling, air cooling, quote, that was shared by Mr. Knoll, and that we forego the bidding process, because of the urgency of, the need for that cooling in September. So I need a second.
DeCaprio seconds.
Any further discussion? So everybody's clear what we're doing. We're gonna vote on this, and then Mr. Knoll's gonna see what he can do to, you know, get it cut in half and all that kind of stuff. And then we're gonna run it by the attorney, make sure we're able to legally do this without a bid. And then we'll go from there. And hopefully it'll work out.
I'm with you. Okay. Thanks.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Atwood?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCaprio?
Yes.
Mrs. Klucher?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes. Okay, can I have a motion to enter confidential executive session for negotiation with employees and also for discussion of confidential business information of an applicant for economic development assistance?
I will make a motion to enter executive session for the purpose of negotiation with employees as well as for contract for economic development.
Yep.
Yeah. Can I have a second?
Campbell seconds.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Atwood?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCaprio?
Yes.
Mrs. Klucher?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes. Okay, we're gonna go somewhere else.
Media center.
Media Center. You guys are welcome to stay, and then we'll reconvene, and we may have more action when we come back.
Okay.
Okay, we are back in regular session. I think that we've just got two more pieces of business getting these work sessions scheduled.
Okay.
So how does September 1 work to do a work session to review the reopening situation? Does that work for everybody?
Yeah,
Yep.
the afternoon, correct?
Tuesday?
We're saying what time?
What time, Dave?
What time? It's up to you. I mean, I would say as early as everyone's schedule allows.
I know we got some folks.
I think I could do maybe 4 at the,
4?
Yeah, that would be my earliest too. We could shoot for
I
that.
could definitely do 4. I don't know if I could do 3:30. Probably for sure I would have to be 4.
Yeah, 4 is
Try
probably
4
the
o'clock for
earliest.
everybody?
Yeah, Nate, does that work for you?
I double check.
But
That
I'll
works
be
for
coming
you?
from home. I won't be coming from Youngstown, so it'll be quick.
Okay. So 4 o'clock at the high school?
Yeah, we can start here.
We'll start here?
Was that good for you?
Okay. And then, I'd like to schedule a work session on, to start the facilities conversation. I know Patty is a big part of that and has a busy schedule, so how about we let Patty suggest some dates? How far out do you want to go, Patty?
Get my calendar up here. The week of September 21st, 28th,
Okay,
I would say would be the earliest.
all right, well, let's make it the 28th, give you more time. Does anybody have particular days that week that are better?
Wednesday would be better. I have another meeting on the 28th.
Okay.
Wednesday's not good for me. But I could do
Wednesday's
any
not
other
good.
day.
For any other day?
The week of the 28th. I'm
Yeah.
good any day.
Okay.
I'm good
First or
Tuesday, Wednesday,
second?
Thursday. Yeah,
I can do.
Tuesday.
first is
Tuesday.
fine, second's bad,
First.
that's Friday.
Let's do the first.
First,
October
October
1st?
October 1?
Yep.
Okay.
at what time?
Oh, it has to be evening, right?
Yep,
So you wanna try 4 o'clock
4
again?
o'clock.
Walk again?
Okay.
does that work?
Okay.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Okay,
Here also again?
well, that's a good question, how do we want to handle that?
To the board meeting room?
I mean, we could probably use the board meeting room.
Yeah, 'cause
Wanna try the
probably
boardroom?
people won't
Yeah.
come.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do boardroom. Yeah, because there'll be things going on and stuff down there.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, let's
Hmm.
hope.
Okay, and I did share those state documents, those facilities documents, so that would be worth, I mean, there's a lot there, but at least kind of familiarize yourself with what's there. That'll help with that, and we'll start that conversation. Okay, anybody else have anything for the good of the cause? Can I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, Nader made the motion,
Second.
If I say so moved.
okay?
Second.
There you go. There you go.
All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.